Japan is a state that perfectly defies simple geopolitical categorization. It is a nation that has seamlessly managed to blend an ancient, deeply rooted cultural heritage with relentless technological innovation, resulting in a multifaceted form of national power that continues to shape the modern global order. By decoding Japan's power structure, the world is presented with a compelling paradigm, a country that wields extraordinary influence through a calculated synthesis of political diplomacy, geoeconomic resilience, defense modernization, and cultural soft power. Understanding Japan requires looking far beyond its geographic borders in East Asia. As the international system grows increasingly multipolar and economically complex, Japan occupies some of the most consequential and strategic real estate in the world. While the nation grapples with profound domestic challenges, most notably a rapidly aging society and a shrinking population, it has systematically converted these vulnerabilities into catalysts for reinvention. This response analyzes the four core pillars of Japan's multidimensional power, unraveling how Tokyo has solidified its status as an indispensable anchor of stability, innovation, and global governance. The political resurgence, strategic diplomacy, and alliance leadership in the realm of international relations. Japan has long abandoned the reactive, low-profile foreign policy that characterized much of the post-World War II era. Today, Tokyo operates as a proactive architect of global strategy, driven by a clear-eyed assessment of shifting power dynamics across the Indo-Pacific. At the heart of Japan's political power is its foundational alliance with the United States. Far from being a junior partner, Tokyo has actively pushed to deepen this strategic alignment. Recognizing the volatile security environment in East Asia, Japan has been instrumental in upgrading alliance command and control structures, establishing robust operational frameworks to respond to regional contingencies. This political maturity ensures that Japan's voice carries immense weight in Washington's own strategic calculus, transforming the U.S.-Japan alliance into the absolute bedrock of regional security. However, Japan's political power extends significantly beyond bilateral agreements. Tokyo is widely recognized as one of the world's most effective multilateral diplomats. Over the last decade, Japan has championed the vision of a free and open Indo-Pacific, FOIP. This vision has grown into an operational regional framework designed to promote the rule of law, freedom of navigation, and economic prosperity across the maritime corridor. To realize this, Japan has successfully engaged in minilateral diplomacy, most notably through the Quad, a strategic dialogue encompassing Japan, the United States, Australia, and India. The Quad serves not merely as a security grouping, but as a political counterbalance and a mechanism for providing public goods to the region, such as vaccine distribution, maritime domain awareness, and critical technology collaboration. Furthermore, Japan has masterfully cultivated partnerships with the countries of the Global South, recognizing that middle powers and emerging economies hold the key to shaping the future international order. By aggressively expanding its diplomatic and economic ties with nations in Southeast Asia, such as ASEAN, Africa, and Latin America, Japan presents itself as a trusted, reliable, and non-coercive partner. Through continuous engagement and substantial official development assistance, ODA, Tokyo ensures that its principles of transparency, fair trade, and due process remain integral to global governance. The geoeconomic engine, innovation, supply chains, and financial might Japan's economy is a complex marvel. As the third largest economy globally, with nominal GDP metrics constantly evolving as emerging markets expand, Japan's geoeconomic power stems not just from its absolute size, but from its supreme position in the global value chain. Historically renowned for its automotive excellence and heavy machinery, Japan has methodically pivoted its economic prowess toward the high-technology sectors that will define the future. Recognizing the vulnerabilities exposed by hyperglobalization, the Japanese government enacted a major modernization of its national strategy, with economic security taking center stage. Tokyo's geoeconomic policy is now heavily focused on strategic autonomy, ensuring the resilience of critical supply chains, diversifying sources of vital minerals, and heavily investing in industries like artificial intelligence, AI, semiconductors, and advanced battery technologies. The transition to a growth-oriented economic model is particularly evident in the technology sector. Domestic corporate behavior has undergone a remarkable transformation. For decades, Japanese companies were characterized by their hoarding of cash reserves. Today, the exit from prolonged deflation has spurred a corporate revolution. Japanese firms are actively deploying massive capital reserves into business expansion, research and development, and aggressive cross-border investments. This corporate dynamism has allowed Japanese companies to establish themselves as indispensable middle links in the global supply chain, sitting strategically between raw material suppliers and finished product manufacturers in major markets like the United States and Europe. Financially, Japan remains a global juggernaut. It is consistently one of the world's largest creditor nations, possessing immense foreign exchange reserves and holding vast portfolios of overseas assets. This financial heft translates directly into geopolitical leverage, as Japanese investment, spanning everything from infrastructure projects in Southeast Asia to liquefied natural gas, LNG, terminals in North America, fuels global economic development. Domestically, the Japanese economy has also shown remarkable resilience. Following decades of near-zero inflation, the recent return of moderate inflation and steady wage increases has revitalized domestic private consumption. Although external headwinds, such as volatile crude oil prices and fluctuations in the foreign exchange market, pose continuous challenges, the Bank of Japan's gradual normalization of monetary policy reflects a stabilizing, maturing domestic economic environment. Military modernization. The evolution of the self-defense forces, perhaps the most dramatic dimension of Japan's rising power, is its transformation in the realm of national defense. Bound for decades by the pacifist constraints of Article 9 of its constitution, Japan has fundamentally reinterpreted its security doctrine in response to a deteriorating geopolitical environment in East Asia. Driven by escalating threats from neighboring states and the intensification of great power competition, Japan has embarked on its most significant military buildup since the end of World War II. Tokyo has committed to a historic increase in defense spending, aiming to bring its budget up to the NATO standard of 2% of GDP. This massive influx of capital is not merely inflating a legacy military. It is a comprehensive modernization effort designed to acquire cutting-edge, deterrent-focused capabilities. A pivotal shift in Japan's military strategy is the acquisition of long-range counterstrike capabilities. For the first time in the post-war era, Japan is procuring weapons systems, such as standoff missiles, that allow the Self-Defense Forces, SDF, to target threats far beyond the immediate vicinity of the Japanese archipelago. This represents a monumental doctrinal shift from a strictly territorial, purely defensive posture to one of active deterrence, ensuring that any potential adversary calculates a prohibitive cost before contemplating aggression. Beyond hardware, Japan is systematically reforming its command structures. The establishment of the Joint Operations Command, JJOC, serves as a testament to this reform. Designed to centralize and streamline the command of the SDF, the JJOC allows for highly coordinated responses to regional contingencies, crises, and natural disasters. Furthermore, this institutional overhaul is being paralleled by deep interoperability upgrades with the U.S. military, aligning command and control structures between the two allies to create a seamless, integrated fighting force. Japan's military power is also extending into new, non-traditional domains. Tokyo is heavily investing in cybersecurity, space, and electronic warfare, recognizing that modern conflicts will be won or lost in the digital and orbital arenas. By expanding the operational scope of the SDF, forging new defense equipment and technology transfer agreements with partners across Europe and the Indo-Pacific, Japan has evolved into a premier security provider. While Tokyo's military posture remains fundamentally defensive and constrained by its constitutional pacifism, The sheer operational capacity and technological sophistication of the SDF make it one of the most formidable military forces in the world. Cultural dominance, soft power and global influence, while political, economic, and military assets constitute the hard elements of state power, Japan's cultural influence, its soft power, is equally, if not more potent. Japan possesses a rare and unparalleled ability to capture the global imagination, disseminating its values, aesthetics, and lifestyle far beyond its borders. Central to Japan's soft power is the global proliferation of its creative industries. Anime, manga, and video games have transcended their status as mere entertainment to become mainstream cultural phenomena deeply embedded in societies across the globe. Intellectual properties born in Tokyo generate billions of dollars in revenue, while cultivating an immense, dedicated global fan base. This pop culture ecosystem does more than drive exports. It creates an environment of intense cultural affinity. Millions of people around the world develop a deep appreciation for Japanese history, language, and social values simply through their engagement with its contemporary media. Furthermore, Japan's traditional arts and philosophy exert a profound psychological influence. Concepts such as ikigai, finding purpose, wabi-sabi, the aesthetic appreciation of transience, and kaizen, continuous improvement, have been integrated into global corporate management, wellness, and lifestyle discourses. Japanese cuisine, washiku, is globally celebrated for its artistry, health benefits, and meticulous preparation, resulting in a proliferation of Japanese restaurants that act as ambassadors of Japanese hospitality, omotenashi, in every major city on Earth. This cultural magnetism translates directly into tangible economic and political benefits. The aesthetic appeal of Japanese design, architecture, and fashion establishes the nation as a global trendsetter. In the tourism sector, Japan is one of the most coveted destinations in the world. Visitors flock to historic cities like Kyoto, drawn by the preservation of traditional culture seamlessly integrated with hypermodern infrastructure. This massive influx of tourists not only generates immense revenue, but serves as a powerful vector for person-to-person diplomacy, allowing foreigners to experience Japanese societal harmony, cleanliness, and civility firsthand. In the realm of global governance, Japan's cultural soft power burnishes its reputation as a responsible and peaceful stakeholder. The nation is often viewed as a bridge between the East and the West, combining cutting-edge modernity with an unmistakable reverence for historical continuity and social cohesion. This perception reinforces Japan's credibility on the world stage, making its advocacy for international law, environmental sustainability, and multilateral cooperation highly persuasive. Conclusion: the synthesis of total national power, deciphering the power of Japan, requires viewing the nation through a holistic, multidimensional lens. Japan is not a traditional superpower that relies purely on territorial expansion or military coercion to achieve its objectives. Instead, it wields a uniquely integrated form of total national power. Politically, Japan has evolved from a passive participant into an assertive global leader. It sets the diplomatic agenda in the Indo-Pacific through visionary frameworks like FOIP, anchors the rules-based international order alongside the G7, and serves as a vital strategic bridge between Western powers and the global South. Geoeconomically, Japan commands immense influence through its technological leadership and indispensable position in global supply chains. By prioritizing economic security and leveraging its vast financial reserves, Tokyo ensures its continued autonomy in a fiercely competitive global market. Militarily, Japan is undergoing a historic transformation. Through massive defense investments and doctrinal shifts, including the acquisition of counter-strike capabilities, Japan has bolstered its defense posture to ensure robust deterrence against emerging regional threats. Culturally, Japan's soft power remains unmatched. Through the global dominance of its creative industries, culinary arts, and philosophical traditions, Tokyo exercises an irresistible magnetic attraction that fosters global goodwill and cultural affinity. Ultimately, The true strength of Japan lies in its profound resilience and capacity for reinvention. As the international community navigates a turbulent era marked by geopolitical friction, economic volatility, and rapid technological disruption, Japan stands as a steadfast pillar of stability, innovation, and democratic values. By harmonizing its hard and soft power capabilities, Japan not only secures its own prosperous future, but continues to shape the trajectory of the 21st century global order.